When we look closely at our lives, we see how much of our energy is spent trying to control the world around us. We want our health to stay strong, our relationships to remain steady, and our plans to unfold as expected. But if we are honest, we know that these things are not always within our power. Control gives us a sense of safety, but it is often only a story we tell ourselves. Think of the weather. No matter how much we prepare, we cannot stop the rain from falling or the wind from blowing. We may wish for sunshine on a special day, but nature follows its own course. In the same way, people around us have their own thoughts and choices. Even those closest to us cannot always act the way we want. When we realize this, we begin to see that control is far more limited than we imagine. This does not mean that we are powerless. We can influence, we can guide, and we can prepare. But there is a difference between guiding and controlling. Guidance allows space for change, while control resists it. When we try too hard to control, we often create stress and disappointment. When we allow things to move naturally, we open the door to peace. Understanding the nature of control is the first step toward freedom. It helps us see that much of our struggle comes from fighting against what cannot be changed. By recognizing this truth, we begin to soften. We see that peace is not found in making everything obey our will, but in living with clarity about what is truly possible. Human beings often seek comfort in the idea of certainty. We plan our days, we create schedules, and we hope that life will follow the path we imagine. Certainty gives us a sense of order, as if the future is already known and secure. Yet if we reflect, we can see that certainty is more of an illusion than a reality. Consider how many times in life things have turned out differently from what we expected. A job may suddenly change, health may take an unexpected turn, or someone important to us may act in ways we never predicted. These surprises remind us that the future is never fixed. No matter how carefully we plan, life carries its own rhythm. The illusion of certainty can make us rigid. When we believe we know how things must be, we resist change and become frustrated when life does not agree. We may even blame ourselves or others for what is simply beyond human control. This resistance brings suffering because we cling to a picture that reality cannot always match. Instead of chasing certainty, we can learn to live with awareness of uncertainty. This does not mean giving up on planning or being careless. It means holding our plans lightly, knowing they may change. It means facing each day with openness, not fear. When we do this, uncertainty becomes less threatening. It becomes a reminder that life is alive, moving, and full of possibility. The illusion of certainty fades when we accept that change is natural. In this acceptance, we find a quiet strength. We no longer demand that life stay fixed. Instead, we discover the peace that comes from meeting each moment as it truly is. Life is full of surprises, both gentle and harsh. A single day can bring joy in the morning and sorrow by the evening. We may receive good news that lifts our hearts and later face a challenge that we did not expect. This unpredictable nature of life can feel unsettling, but it also holds an important truth. It reminds us that change is not only possible, but inevitable. When we resist unpredictability, we often create unnecessary pain. We ask, "Why did this happen to me?" or "Why now?" as if life were supposed to follow our personal script. But life does not make promises of stability. By accepting this, we step into a more honest relationship with reality. We see that unpredictability is not an enemy to fight, but a teacher showing us how to live with flexibility. Think of a river. Sometimes it flows gently, other times it rushes with force. We cannot command the river to remain calm, but we can learn how to move with it. In the same way, when life changes suddenly, we can choose to bend rather than break. Acceptance does not mean liking every event, but it means allowing reality to be what it is, without constant struggle. Unpredictability can also bring hidden gifts. Events we did not plan may open new paths. People we meet by chance may change our lives in profound ways. When we welcome unpredictability, we learn to trust that not all surprises are harmful. Some are blessings in disguise. To accept life's unpredictability is to make peace with the natural flow of existence. It is to live without demanding certainty and to walk gently with whatever comes. In this way, even sudden changes can guide us toward deeper peace. Each day brings its own set of difficulties. Some are small, like waiting in traffic or misplacing something important. Others are larger, like conflicts with loved ones or unexpected financial troubles. These challenges can easily disturb our hearts and lead us into worry or frustration. Yet when we look closely, we see that balance does not come from removing all challenges, but from learning how to stand steady in the middle of them. Balance is not about perfection. It does not mean that we never feel upset or that we never lose our calm. It means that we can return to a place of steadiness more quickly, without being carried away by every difficulty. When a challenge comes, instead of asking, "How can I control everything so that I never feel this again?" we might ask, "How can I meet this moment without losing myself?" This question helps us turn our focus from control toward balance. Think of a tree in the wind. A tree cannot stop the storm, but its deep roots allow it to remain standing. In the same way, we can grow inner roots of stability. When life becomes stormy, these roots help us stay grounded. We may sway, but we do not fall. Finding balance in everyday challenges also means giving ourselves patience. We do not need to judge every difficulty as a failure. Each challenge is an opportunity to practice steadiness. Over time, these small practices shape a stronger heart. When we learn to find balance, daily life becomes less of a struggle. We no longer depend on everything going our way. Instead, we carry a quiet strength that supports us, even in the face of difficulty. In a world that moves quickly, patience can feel like a forgotten art. We are used to instant answers, fast results, and quick solutions. But life does not always follow this speed. Some things take time to unfold, and no amount of rushing will change that. Patience is the wisdom of waiting with calmness, without forcing what is not yet ready. When we lack patience, we suffer twice. First, from the challenge itself, and second, from the restlessness of our own minds. We feel trapped, as if every delay is unfair. Yet if we step back, we see that life often ripens slowly, like fruit on a tree. We cannot pull the branches to make the fruit appear sooner. We must give it space and time to grow. Patience also teaches us humility. It reminds us that we are not in control of the universe's clock. Each season arrives when it is meant to. Each event has its own timing. By learning to wait without anger, we align ourselves with the natural flow of life. Think of a seed planted in the soil. For weeks, nothing may appear above the ground, but hidden beneath the surface, growth is already taking place. Our lives are often like this. Even when we cannot see change, something is moving quietly inside us or around us. Patience gives us the strength to trust in this hidden process. The wisdom of patience is not weakness, it is strength in stillness. It allows us to face delays, disappointments, and uncertainty without breaking. With patience, we discover that peace is not only found in quick solutions, but in the gentle rhythm of time itself. Everything in life changes. The seasons shift, the body grows older, relationships evolve, and even our own thoughts come and go like passing clouds. This truth of impermanence is not meant to bring fear, but to help us see life with clearer eyes. When we understand that nothing lasts forever, we begin to value each moment more deeply. Much of our suffering comes from expecting permanence where it cannot exist. We want the good times to last forever, and we wish to avoid the passing of time. But when we try to hold tightly, we create tension and disappointment. Instead of resisting change, we can learn from it. Impermanence shows us that life is precious exactly because it does not stay the same. Think of a flower. Its beauty lies not only in its full bloom, but also in its briefness. Knowing the flower will fade makes its presence even more meaningful. In the same way, the people and experiences in our lives shine brighter when we remember that they, too, are temporary. Impermanence also teaches resilience. When painful moments come, we remember that they will not last forever. Just as winter eventually gives way to spring, our hardships also pass in time. This understanding softens our hearts and gives us courage to continue. To learn from impermanence is to live with honesty. We no longer pretend that life is fixed or unchanging. Instead, we meet each moment as it comes, appreciating it while it is here and letting it go when it must leave. In this way, impermanence becomes not a source of sadness, but a gentle guide toward peace and gratitude. Many of us believe that freedom comes from control, from shaping every detail of life to match our desires. But if we look more deeply, we see that control often becomes a prison. The more we try to force outcomes, the more tension we feel. True freedom does not come from holding on, but from surrendering to what is beyond us. Surrender is often misunderstood as weakness or defeat. In truth, it is neither. Surrender means allowing life to unfold without constant resistance. It is the act of loosening the tight grip we have on the world so that we can breathe more easily. When we surrender, we stop fighting against reality. We discover that freedom lies in saying, "This is what is happening, and I can meet it with calmness." Think of the ocean waves. If we fight against them, we exhaust ourselves and risk being pulled under. But if we float with the waves, the water carries us safely. Life is much the same. By surrendering, we allow the natural movement of events to guide us. This does not mean we give up all action. It means we act wisely where we can and release the rest. Surrender also brings relief to the heart. We no longer carry the heavy burden of trying to manage what cannot be managed. Instead, we step into a lighter way of living, where peace is not tied to outcomes. In this space, freedom grows quietly. To surrender is not to lose. It is to win back our peace, our clarity, and our strength. It is to live without chains, open to the flow of life as it truly is. When difficulties arise, many people believe that strength must appear as force, as pushing through with power or control. Yet real strength often comes in a quieter form. Calmness is not weakness. It is a deep strength that allows us to face storms without being torn apart. Calmness gives us space to see clearly. When our minds are restless, every problem looks larger, every word feels heavier, and every challenge seems impossible. But when we are calm, we notice more. We see not only the problem, but also possible paths forward. Calmness turns confusion into clarity, and panic into steadiness. Imagine a lake. When the water is disturbed, we cannot see beneath the surface. But when the lake is still, its depth becomes visible. Our minds are the same. In calmness, we discover a strength that lies below the surface, patience, resilience, and wisdom. This strength is not loud, but it is steady and reliable. Calmness also protects our relationships. In moments of conflict, if we respond with anger, we often create wounds that take a long time to heal. But if we answer with calmness, we give space for understanding to grow. This does not mean ignoring problems, but meeting them without adding fire to fire. Inner strength through calmness grows slowly, like roots reaching deeper into the ground. Each time we choose calmness instead of anger, steadiness instead of panic, the roots grow stronger. Over time, this strength becomes a natural part of us. Through calmness, we are not controlled by every storm. We carry within us a strength that cannot be easily shaken. This quiet power allows us to meet life as it comes, with dignity and peace. To live in peace with what we cannot control, we need more than patience and calmness. We also need openness. Openness means meeting life without closing our hearts, even when things do not go as we hoped. It means welcoming each moment as it arrives, rather than shutting it out with fear or suspicion. When we close ourselves, we live in constant defense. We expect harm, so we resist everything. But this resistance creates a narrow life. Opportunities pass us by because we are too afraid to let them in. Openness is the courage to step beyond this fear. It allows us to meet life with curiosity, instead of only with caution. Trust is closely tied to openness. Trust does not mean believing that everything will be easy or pleasant. It means having confidence that we can face whatever comes. It is trusting that even when the path is unclear, we will find the next step. This kind of trust is not blind. It grows from experience. Each time we face difficulty and survive, we learn that we are stronger than we thought. Think of the sky. Clouds may cover it, storms may darken it, yet the open sky remains vast and unchanged. Our lives, too, can carry this openness. With trust, we can stand beneath the storms without fear, knowing they will pass. Living with openness and trust frees us from the constant need to predict and control. It teaches us to walk with steady steps into the unknown, without closing ourselves to the beauty that may appear. In this way, life becomes not a battle to win, but a journey to experience fully. As we come to the end of this reflection, let us remember the heart of the teaching. Peace is not found in controlling every detail of life, but in living with clarity about what can and cannot be shaped by our hands. Life is unpredictable, yet it also holds beauty in its constant change. When we learn to meet each moment with balance, patience, and calmness, we discover a freedom that no outside circumstance can take away. Peace grows when we stop struggling against reality. It comes quietly, like dawn after a long night, when we accept life as it is and walk gently with it. This does not mean life will always be easy. There will still be storms, losses, and challenges. But by understanding the limits of control and by living with openness and trust, we learn to carry peace within us. It becomes a steady companion, guiding us through both joy and sorrow. Before we close, I want to offer my heartfelt thanks to those who have shown support through kind comments, thoughtful reflections, and generous gifts such as super thanks. I am truly grateful. To those who have chosen to subscribe or even join as members, please know that your presence brings strength to this shared path. Every gesture of kindness, whether large or small, reminds me of the connection we share across distance and culture. May these words serve as a gentle companion in your daily life. May you find peace in moments both simple and difficult, and may your heart remain steady as you walk through the ever-changing flow of existence.